I do the breakfast show on Choice FM, which means I get up very, very early. About 4:30 I'm out of my bed. 5:30 we turn up at the studio mostly, and then we're on air at 6 o'clock. And like many breakfast shows, they're 4 hours. I started up a club night when I was at Manchester Uni, and I was DJing, and then I was having a drink one evening with the student radio, the head of student radio there. I was just having a few drinks and, you know, just getting a bit cocky and chatting to him, and then he goes to me, "Do you know what? You really should do a drum and bass show." And I just went like that. It was like, no way, I could never ever do that. And I did, and I went and did the drum and bass show. And then up in Manchester, there's a Galaxy radio up there. I've been in there a few times, sort of going in, and I was on, like, you know how they do the entertainment news? I'd gone in on that, and I talked about my club night, and the guy had said to me, and I said, "Oh, I'm a radio DJ as well, you know, I'd only done like a few shows," and he was like, "Oh right, okay," and he actually had a slot on radio ready for me, and I went into the studio, and I was there sort of doing my little this isn't on air, doing my little shows, and I was really, really rubbish, and he came in and he sort of listened to me, and I couldn't do it, and I was really upset, and I was burst into tears. And he said, "You're never ever gonna make it. This is useless." And I sort of was a bit upset really. And then I came back to London and thought, you know, I really want to do this, but how am I going to go about learning to do this? Because you don't just come on air and you can suddenly be a radio DJ. So I came back to London, and I did a course very similar to the Point Blank course actually, and there was a radio station there, and I went on it, and nobody was listening to it, but it didn't matter because I had a chance to practice and, you know, learn my style. So I did that for about a year, and then I bought this radio book, and I'd gone through the stations, and I thought Choice, I thought wicked, I love that station. The slogan for Choice was representing all the flavours of the street, but they didn't have a drum and bass show, so I thought this was ridiculous. So I called them up and I said, you say you represent all the flavours of the street, but you don't have a drum and bass show. And 3 hours later, the guy came to my office, and I was having a meeting with him, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then 3 weeks later, I was on the air. That was 7 years ago, when Choice was a much smaller station, and I don't think that wouldn't happen like that now. There was more opportunities then. But I mean, the point what I'm trying to say is that for me, it's about getting as many hours under your belt on air as a presenter. It's like anything, the more you do it, the better you are, and you have the chance to explore your style and how you want to present. I'm going to play 2 bits of audio, and it's interviews, and what I'm trying to do is give examples of good and bad interviews that I think that we've done on the show.
If you missed the early part of the show, we played an interview that Lucy did with Dizzy Rascal.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the good thing about doing interviews sometimes, especially when they're pre-recorded, is that you can get rid of the bad bits. However, when you've got a producer that likes to highlight the bad bits, sometimes we have to bring them to the forefront of the show, and that's what we're going to do right now.
I think this is really... I like interviewing. Can I say something that might sound a bit arrogant? I thought I was quite good at interviewing until Dizzy Rascal came along. We didn't bond, put it that way. But
if you're a budding radio presenter or even TV presenter, and you want to know what not to do if you're going to interview somebody, if you want to get the best out of them, these are the kind of things that you should really try and stay away from. Exhibit number 1.
You and I have got something in common.
What's that?
We're both failed drum and bass DJs.
I didn't fail.
Oh, right.
I just didn't really make it anyway.
Right.
Is that the same thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, I started off doing drum and bass.
We're both failures then.
Yeah, we are.
Right, so the first thing you don't do is highlight the things that they haven't managed to accomplish in their life.
You've got to keep it real.